we just do a quick video. One of the most common things that people ask us is, how much is this costing us? Which that's going to be a really big one that we do on time, because that is a big deal. And the next one is the pros and cons of living full time in a motorhome. So for me, I think the cons are never fully having your own space. That's kind of a con. What about you?
Cons are it just is more time consuming or more difficult to get things done. Not more difficult, just more time consuming. Everything takes a little bit longer because everything's not just right at your fingertips like at home. Like laundry's not at your fingertips. Water, you've got to fill up. And even though we've got the motorhome thing down pat, when we pull into a place we can be set up in 5 or 10 minutes. Just got to, not that it's a big drama, you just got to think about where we're going to get fuel next, we're going to get water next, we're going to get gas next.
Yeah, and you're always checking those things, because while we're fully self-sufficient, we're reliant on that self-sufficiency. We are still reliant on finding certain things that we need: gas, petrol, and water. So as long as we're topped up on that, we're fine. But you are constantly searching for that.
Yeah. And just things take longer. Just things take more time.
Like what?
Just a shower, or
Our showers take a lot less time, actually.
Well,
They don't take long.
yours do.
Yours don't take longer.
No, but just I think the crampness. But I don't mind the cramped space. That's fine.
Another thing is cooking for me is not so great. We've worked our way around it, but obviously our cooking facilities determine what we can actually cook. So we just have the 4 burners on the top, a quite small grill, which I don't think is that effective because it's gas and it's got one line, and then we've got our barbecue. I don't think there's
Which we use most nights though.
We do mostly use the barbecue. Kind of use it as an oven as best we can as well.
Or as a normal barbecue with steak and sausages and stuff.
I don't like not having my clothes ironed. There's one. I up until this point, I've been, and anyone who knows me will tell you this, I'm very particular about having my clothes ironed. So it took me a long time to just. We have an iron as well. We have an iron that I was insistent on. We have an iron, and we have used it, but that's when we're like going out to a nicer place. I will definitely iron my dress or my shirt or whatever. But on the day-to-day, you're just pulling clothes out of a cupboard that have been rolled up and are wrinkled. So that
doesn't bother me, clearly. Okay, here's the other thing. Like if I want to go for a ride, I go pull the bike, lift the bed up, pull the bike out, put the bike together, go for a ride, come back, collapse the bike, put it back under the bed. That sort of stuff is what I find. Whereas at home, it's just like on the bike, go, come back, that sort of stuff. But that's for the pros. The cons, I think, the pros far outweigh the cons.
I'm trying to think of what else is really negative. But one thing we've really realised from all of this is how adaptable we are, and we have to assume that most people are adaptable as well. Because that was my first thought when we first walked into Molly. I was like, this is... Because it's like when you look at a house you're going to buy, right? They're showing you the best wide angle of a place, and then when you go in, you're like, this room doesn't look as big as it did online. Same thing with the motorhome. We both kind of went and then went, this is smaller than we thought. But within, I think, even just a couple of days, we adjusted to it.
Yeah.
Now, there's always this question as well of the difference between having a motorhome, which RV motorhome, that's your car and your caravan all in one, as opposed to having the separate caravan and four-wheel drive.
It's easier to set up and go, but it gives you less. We've been able to go less places. There's been a few places where we just haven't gone because you don't want to take a motorhome on those sorts of roads.
But then everyone who's got a normal trailer, you've got to then have a four-wheel drive caravan to do it as well. So that's another level up. I'm really happy that we've got an RV instead of the car trailer. I mean, we fight at the best of times over the stupidest things. So I can't imagine, because one of our not our favourite things to do, but one thing that we do is when people are in, when people pull into the caravan park, especially if it's a family, they pull into a caravan park with a caravan and four-wheel drive, and we start our timer and we see how long it takes. First of all to finish, and then second how long it takes before they start fighting.
Or yelling.
Yelling. It's pretty funny because it's quite stressful because you know everyone's watching you, and yeah, it looks like a real
It's normally the wife yelling at the husband, let's be honest. He's on the pump, he's the one that's backing in. You never see the wife get out and back in.
It's true. It's like you never see the wife empty the Uber. I don't know why. There's boys' jobs. Yeah, so I'm glad we have it. It just seems like a lot less hassle. I do love being able to just turn up to somewhere now that we've figured out how to park half decently. Turn up somewhere, pull out the table chairs, Wobbins is doing that, I've got the drinks made, out come the games or whatever we're doing, and we're ready to go. Honestly, within less than 10 minutes from the time the handbrake goes to we're sitting down having a drink, so that to me is great.
Pros about this whole lifestyle, it does give you a lot more freedom. Just to, like, even today, we're going to we'll just go down to Port Douglas, I've been there before, and then we didn't really have a plan for tomorrow, and within 5 minutes of sitting down, we decided, okay, we're going to go there, call a campground for tomorrow night just to make sure, because it's quite popular. Going up to Cape Tribulation, so it's quite popular, so just go, yep, that's what we're going to do tomorrow. So that's been pretty good. So there's no hotel bookings, and you can, like today we just pulled out of Mosswood Gorge, and I made a sandwich in the back, and off we went. So we didn't have to worry about that sort of stuff.
I had a shower in a car park. That is actually my first shower in a car park. But we were like, oh, well, he's making lunch. I might as well have a shower from our hike rather than waste time when we get to our new place, which you can do, which is actually really cool. I do like that. And all the positive stuff for us, I think we have seen.
You don't have to pack and unpack. Well, you don't have to pack and unpack clothes.
That's true.
We're basically moving, but not packing and unpacking. Like, if you're in a hotel room every day, you'd be packing up, unpacking,
Very true.
unpacking.
Very true. And we're not living out of a suitcase at all. It's certainly not that type of feeling when you're living out of a suitcase. Everything's in the bathroom, everything's in the bedroom, everything's in the kitchen, everything's where it's supposed to be. And even when we go, and obviously we stay with friends along the way, and it's honestly easier for us just to stay overnight in our motorhome than we've got to pack an overnight bag, we've got to take our toiletries out, what we're wearing, up and da-da-da-da-da-da. It's a pain. We'd rather just go and socialise with them and then go to sleep in our own.
Yeah. As long as we got a power cord, like we got air conditioning and everything, so there's
Well, we don't even need power cord.
power or water. Yeah.
A big pro for us is we have seen so much more of this country than we would have ever. As we've already said before, we've never been to Northern Territory or Western Australia.
And if we had gone to West Australia, we would have flown to Perth, looked around Perth, hired a car, a couple of weeks, whatever, stayed in motels. Got a broom, we would have, flown in a broom. Gone to Ayers Rock, we would have flown to Ayers Rock and just stayed at the resort.
And that was a really cool spot. But Uluru, of course, we would definitely plan on going to Uluru one day, but again, we would have flown in there.
Yeah, flown in, done our thing and flown out. So that's been good. So the flexibility, the fact you see more, the not packing and unpacking every day, it's been good.
And we've also
party going on down the beach. And I'm looking, I hope I'm not too distracted, but I'm looking at two guys over there. So we're on 4 Mile Beach in Port Douglas. And there's a father and son out there swimming in the water. I'm thinking, I don't know how many times, we're not locals, at least for Australia, I suppose, but I don't know how many times we've been told not to swim here. There's the crocodiles, and these two are out there fooling around.
Like armpit deep.
Yeah, maybe they're locals and they know better than us, but I hope so.
Well, this is a local beach, which is, it must be 4 miles long, which is why it's called this, and they're the only two idiots in 4 miles, which is basically almost as far as we can see. No one is swimming, so I don't know what they think they're doing, but good luck to them. I'm not going to go rescue them from a crocodile, and neither are you. Anyway.
I'll go and rescue the kid, but not the dad.
You reckon
it's a father and son for sure. Yeah, I saw them walk in.
I think that one of the biggest takeaways from all of this for us is, for me, how much little you actually need.
It's quite nice. Just in case everyone sees can't monetize this, can we?
Oh, you're such a... Honestly. So frustrating. This is my life.
And you love it.
We like random, random.
Community? How nice the woman was.
Really, you love it. New Zealand, some people won't notice. Secret stone, I'll buy lots of them for you. One big takeaway for me has been how little we actually need. Obviously, you realise that just as a normal thinking human, that we're big consumers and we have more than we need and fill our houses with stupid gadgets and whatever. We're basically living out of not much more than a suitcase, effectively.
Yeah.
As far as extras go, it's not, it's minimal. We don't need a lot of stuff.
No. Not at all. Let's get that out there.
No, this is a conversation, okay? If someone's having a conversation at a dinner table, do you go, oh, what's that over there, guys? In the middle of a conversation that people are having? Yes, you do, actually.
Yeah.
You do.
So most of
The other one is the people that we've met. Now, we're not going to see any of these people after this, but not because they're not nice or cool or whatever. Our paths will just never cross again. But we have met people from all walks of life, all age groups, and we never would have had that experience. Just to, there's a lot of people that lead very, very different lives to us who we would never have the opportunity to get to understand, or talk to, and so
Yeah,
that's
get to know a little bit. Yeah, that's very good.
Nothing else you want to say? Nothing else?
Now just like free talk and ramble.
No, it's impossible.
Like about my sorting out my recommendations or about the people going to get eaten by crocodile.
That'll be spliced into actual.
The 9 o'clock news.
Yeah, how cool would that be?
No. How tragic would that be? You mean?
Well, I don't mean to be. Well, I do mean to be kind of silly. Really.
Yeah, it's really silly.
I mean, if they're not locals and they haven't been told, there surely must be some part of their brain where they're like, why is nobody else swimming here? This is such a beautiful beach. Why is no one swimming here? Maybe he's trying to get rid of his son.
Maybe his dad's rich and the son's smart enough to knock off the dad. Inherit all his money.